Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher. And today we're going to take a look at the Tangle Winflo from CZT Nadine Roller. This is an addition to all of the lovely organic tangles that we have. And I like this one just as much as all of them. But it has a neat different look. All right, this one starts off with it's an orb, obviously, but we're going to fill it in and leave a little spot of natural tile color. Or if you forget or get too carried away, as I do a lot, you can always add a little daub of a white gel pen or something just to give it a little shine. All right, then straight line coming out from that. We're going to add another pearl. We called them that too on the end. Then a couple straight lines in a V shape, and this, I'm going to have it come straight out. And what's lovely about organics is you can have them pretty much do anything. All right. So a V. Now, in the Tangle Patterns link is a little bit of the story, and this will, of course, be in the description section below. I will also put a link to Nadine's blog. Let's see, it's in German, so I know that when I clicked on it, you can install if you have Google Translate or whatever. But I'm going to put both links in there so that way you have them on Nadine's blog, and there is a link to Nadine's blog in the Tangle Patterns, but I thought for ease, I'll just put them both on there for you. She shows arrows on this section. What I did on my step out was to separate the first few steps, just because I was having a little trouble seeing, and I'm like, well, I'm going to just separate them out for me, and if it helps you, great. But on this step, she had little arrows showing this. So after you do the V, and this is coming out of the orb. At first, I was putting them right here, connecting to the base of where, I made this V. Nope. It comes down below wherever you want. So another straight line, and then connect that line to that original V, come around, and, do the other top straight line, and then bring the other down. So it's kind of like you're going toot, 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 like this. But you have your foundation right here. I think that's kind of neat. And then in the Tangle Patterns, she talks about the reason for the name. Says it looks like a wing flower. Wing flower. And that's what this does end up looking like. And I thought that was kind of neat, just having that process of doing them in a, kind of a circular motion. Next step is we're going to just aura that top line. So coming a little bit down from there. Straight line, as you can see, and then a couple straight lines from that line into that pearl or darkened in orb. Then, I couldn't tell from, and I didn't enlarge it enough to really see, and because I thought, well, it doesn't really matter. I couldn't tell how she had it separated, but I'm guessing here, just color in, leaving a little bit of shine in the middle there. So going from either side. And actually, if you have these two lines, then you have three spaces, right? So this is what I was doing, was just kind of coloring in or filling in above the outside too, leaving a little gap in the middle. And that looks good. All right. And again, if you forget that gap, or like here, I kind of got a little carried away, you can always go back and add with the white jelly roll. Now from here, you can have it grow however you want. Now I'm going to just do straight lines because I do have a sample, because you can do this however you want. So we're going to have this grow out to the side, well, a little bit longer one apparently. And if you end up a little bit longer, you can make your orb cover some of that. This is kind of like a course correction, because we're filling it in anyway, right? And then just leaving a little space there, and I'm doing that same process. And then the initial V and these petals, if you will, could be any size that you want. I mean, they are kind of cute at this ratio. Yeah, and on my step outs, I wanted to have more of a, I don't know. Again, this is for my brain, and if it helps, and I know that there's a few because that also kind of think, well, I don't want to say think the same way. Maybe just have the same challenges as me, or maybe it was just a pity thing. I don't know. I'm just teasing. I like to have instructions. I can't help it. But if it helps, then that's great. But I just wanted to have a little bit more of a process. Here's something too. If you worry about forgetting about that little shine part, you could put an orb within the orb and then fill in around it, and then you can always course correct as you want. It works out great. And then two, this V doesn't necessarily have to go straight up. So I'm going to, just like everything in Zentangle, we put our own take on it. So you could have it angle a little bit. This one I'm making a little bit bigger. And that's what's fun, is just having different sizes. I like staying within the realm personally, because otherwise then it becomes a different tangle. Staying within the realms of the step out. But it looks neat. Oh, and then we can have one come right off the center here. And so frankly, you could have them, it doesn't have to come out of an orb. It could come out of anywhere. And so I think that's neat, because it's, sorry, I was debating. Apparently today is a not multitasking day, thinking, talking, and tangling some days. But I really like this. It's just, it's on the whimsical side. And it's just cute. I really, really like this. And then, of course, do you have to do straight lines? Just like everything else, like that I mentioned, we can put our own take on things. So what I did is I was playing with it is, well, let's just do some curvy lines. And why not? And then like this one, I have this one just kind of aiming down the other way. And so that's what I like about this, is that, and all the other organic tangles that grow on itself, is that you can just take it wherever it wants to go, and you can kind of lose yourself in it. And that's part of the thing about Zentangle, is having something that you can lose yourself in. And that's how we get to that, with the repetition of it, we get to that, meditative or mindful exercise, by having that repetition and being able to just lose ourselves in the strokes, in the steps of the pattern, and then, and see what happens afterwards, and not worrying about what's the outcome going to be. So I really, really like this pattern. It's so cute. If you enjoyed the video, would love to have a thumbs up, like, share, subscribe, all of that. If you do decide to subscribe, make sure to hit the notification bell, so that way you can dictate to the YouTube, how do you want to be notified, if you want to be notified at all. And also in the description section, ways to connect with me if you'd like. I do classes every week. Mostly free, but I do have, right now I have one paid class. It's a little bit more in depth, and things like that. Also, keeps me able to do the free content. So click on the link to my website. There's information there, and I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate you watching, so that way I feel like I'm sharing my love of Zentangle to people all over, because it is just such a fun art form, and like I said, and it's meant to be shared. So thank you for watching, and I wish you happy tangling. Oh, but wait, there's more. Right, exactly. Now, I'm going to completely date myself because I had an afterthought and I wanted to be able to share it. And I thought, oh, this is just like the best movies that I ever watch. And most of these were when I was younger. And the ones that come into my mind are ones that, like Smokey and the Bandit from with Burt Reynolds. Was Dom DeLuise in that? I think he was. Or Cannonball Run. There's just some movies in, the 80s. Those might have been late 70s. I don't know. But they during the credits, they would run like a blooper reel, little snippets here and there, and it was fantastic. And are some other movies, and even some that's fairly recently, and I'm thinking more of the Marvel movies, because my husband and I stay till the credits. We're credit watching people. And occasionally they'll, after the credits run, then there's like, and a little bit more, like almost a teaser, or it finishes off the story. And so I thought, oh, I'm going to do that since I had this afterthought. So if you wanted to add some shading, here's what you could do. I mean, of course, you could add a little something here. We'll do that. Because it's always nice if you want to add a little bit of I kind of like this the way it is. But then again, things are generally a little bit better with some shading. Oh, yes. See? So, but it depends on what you're looking for, of course. Oh, see that look. Oh my gosh, that looks so neat. Just that little teeny bit. I am always amazed. Always amazed. All right. Then this came, the first time I had seen this was in the Tangle Wander line by Thomas Padros, and I do have a video on that. And what he did was, and this is kind of neat, is we kind of duplicate lightly the pattern underneath. And maybe not fully, I'm thinking maybe not a full orb. I'll just do a little bit. And so below, and pick which side you're going to do. Below and just a little bit under. And then we're just going to go lightly overshoot. And then, can have, the pattern. And maybe it's just a couple lines like this. Let's see what that looks like. I'm just going to, sometimes you don't have to smudge it out with the tortillon, but maybe you want to. Oh, yes. See, just like that. And then I'm just going to have that connect. So you don't have to do the entire thing. Well, let's just go like this way. And it's just, like I said, it's almost like you're redrawing it and overshooting a little bit. Well, heck, and we might as well get this one here. Oh, and then, and then here, little ball. And don't worry about anything being perfect, because, and then especially if it's not, that's where using the tortillon. And just, I could have probably gone a little bit lighter on that, but that's okay. But having it be a little bit away from that line, it makes it look like it's casting a shadow. Now, and as you know, well, hopefully you know. If you don't know, I'm telling you now. In Zentangle, we don't generally worry about light source and all that artsy stuff. It's more about having things pop and having that kind of fun. But, well, that one there was a little bit maybe too much. But still, you can see that casts a shadow. So if you want to add some depth, we can do that. Again, we're not worried about light source, but this, it's you don't really have to worry about it. You just pick a side and then just do something consistently. And then that seems to work. And try a little bit at a time. So that way then you don't have shading remorse or anything like that. But just overshooting. And that looks really neat. So thanks for watching this little bonus part. If you watched it, then I know that I know. I'm just teasing. I'm thinking, well, now I'll find out who my fellow credit watchers are. The ones that the diehards that listen all the way to the end. I'm just kidding. Or you just saw, oh, there's a lot of time left. What else? What else is happening? And fast forward through my rambling, the ending bits that I always do, because it's the stuff that you gotta do, right? Okay, thank you again so much for watching. I hope you had fun with me. If not, I just sat here giggling by myself, and that's okay, because that works too. All right. Thank you again, and happy tangling.